we will not make a dollar. This is a giving profession. I'd like to add just a little bit to what Rick went around and so brilliantly taught us last year. Do it again. Teach 3 to reach 3. Do it again. Those of you who know the comp plan know that platinum could be 6 silvers. It can be 3 golds. So there's certainly a reason to have 6 legs that are active. And I would add to that, and again. There is nothing in the comp plan that says 6 legs is your limit. Karen, you asked me this question last night, right? How wide can I build, Karen asked. How bad is this on me? This is my front line asking this. She thought she could only build 6 wide, right? That's what's shown in the comp plan, but you see what's happening here is every time you build another one of these become a denser color. There's more and more money coming from this because you're laying exponentially growing organization and exponentially growing volumes over one another. Even this is not linear by doing it again. It in itself is exponential. And this width is going to be your width. If you role model, bring it on 1 consultant a month, what do you think your organization is going to do? 1 a month. There's always going to be variation, but you're the parent of your organization. If you tell them to bring on 3 a month and bring on 1 a month, it's going to be closer to 1 than 3. Right? You tell them to bring on 10 a month and you're not bringing anybody on a month, it's going to be closer to 0 than 10. So, for me, and what I recommend for you, do it again, and again, and again, for life. Those of us that came from the corporate world will go, wait a minute, how many is that, 30? I don't know. I can't manage 30 people. Of course you can't, because it's not our job. Our job is to be leaders, to help them beginning follow, and then lead, and then get out of their way. So it's only these last, you're out of their way. These later ones, they're leading. These are still following as well. It's the beauty of all of this. It can go on for a while.
This is such an important concept. It's such an important concept. You just have to do what you want your people to do.
Yes.
You just be who you want them to be. You do what you want them to do, and they will follow. You don't have to manage anything. You just have to lead.
Nope. And not all will follow. Right? It's averages. It's averages at the end of the day. But they'll rarely go past you. That's what people talk about. I want to find that that diamond, that superstar in the rough. Well, if you were this much bigger, you should be attracting a lot more that were close to as big as you were. If you're sponsoring, like Sparks, the last time we were together, you got an award. I think it was 9 sponsoring. You sponsored 9 in a month or something. You recognized them, for that. 7, excuse me. Whatever. It was impressive. Certainly made me think, what the heck am I doing? At that point in time, I think I was still in the moving wellness homes. Myself. So, let's ask ourselves this question. I get paid how long? For doing what? I get paid for more people in my organization. So you can teach 3 to reach 3, you can teach another 3 to reach 3, or you can do it for life. And the organization will continue to grow. And we get paid for ongoing consumption. Just like Target and Safeway and Whole Foods. If somebody's not walking in there and pulling product off the shelf, all the employees are going to get fired. Because there's no pay available. So product absolutely has to move. Some network marketing companies, it's services. Some network marketing companies, it's product. We're really actually just talking about network marketing in general at this point, except for the specifics of the Niken comp plan. So Niken has something very unique. Every network marketing company has consumables, because that's what the whole profession and the business model is built on. Niken has these packs and these durable goods that create amazing bonuses for us. And when we look at our checks, probably at the beginning, 80% of our check comes from the pack. But over time, a smaller and smaller percentage of the check comes from the pack, and greater comes from the consumable. Not to mention that pack, we're not even allowed to auto ship a wellness home, are we? I don't think you can auto ship a sleep system. I think there's a reason. You probably don't need that many, right? Unless you're a retailer. You know, so the packs and the durable goods tend to get purchased one time. They impact your check 1 month, maybe a pack this month, and another pack a few months later, and a sleep system later, whatever it is as well. The consumables impact your check every month for the rest of your life, or at least for the rest as long as those people are with your organization. And the stats I've heard, and these are secondhand, so I don't know how accurate they are, but if you have an income builder on auto ship, 95% of them will stay with you at the end of each year. Okay? Sort of makes sense because that's also protecting their paycheck as well, right? And I've heard that that number is better than many companies in the network marketing industry as well, which makes a lot of sense to me because that $100 a month in that box that goes from Unique into our house every month, that we protect our check with and build our health with, we got a lot of products to throw in the box, right? So you got too many of one thing, so you just take it out and put another thing in the box instead of being Mona B with a pile of jugs of juice in your, garage, or any one of these other one product companies like Jeff was talking about. You can put all kinds of stuff in the box. Plus, what I've noticed is our auto ship numbers keep growing. The longer they're in, the bigger that auto ship gets, and I don't have to ask anybody to buy anything. They do it themselves because they're all caught up in wellness. You come to believe that this is the only place we have to live, this body, even if you didn't start out that way. So, what does that do to our check? The predictable lifetime income comes from the consumables. The stuff that when someone decides to use it once, it just keeps coming. Whatever work you've got to do to get them on auto ship pays you for the rest of your life, right? The packs are great, huge bonuses, and we do work. Gary was just talking about some of the work. We can overdo it, as I did. And we get that one-time income, but it's a lot less predictable. Auto ship, you already know what's coming next month before the month begins. The packs, not so sure. We have an economic downturn. I believe the packs will slow down. I haven't been around long enough in Cannes, but I would suspect in 2008 there was a bit of a hit for that, and probably less of a hit for the auto ship. I know Mona B, that's when they really started to tank, actually. It was in 2008, because their product was not considered necessary, apparently, by a large portion of the base. So, as I found out, moving wellness homes, and I'm totally for it as a part of the whole system, but doing it alone, as I did, without a team, that was a job. It was a one-time paycheck. I was exhausted, when I finished winning the top performer. I love the contest now, too, for the win, because it focuses also over here on the thing that everyone in network marketing knows, that residual income stream. I was in Las Vegas with Eric Worre, the writer of the GoPro book, and 5,000 other network marketing professionals in December. It was brilliant. 100 different companies, 24 countries represented. Nobody was allowed to name their company. Nobody was allowed to name their product. If you were invited to speak from stage, it's because you made $1 million in network marketing. Some were 70, some were 19. So there's something in this business model itself, and I got to see the essence, of the business model, if you will. And it's beautiful. And when you comply with our comp plan, some of those, this guy named Holton Buggs you may have heard about, he went from $0 a month to $1 million a month in 4 years. And I heard that and went, dang, I'm thinking too small. Because the company he's with uses one mushroom out of the 14 in our immunity and shoves it into coffee and tea. It's usually made with toxic water. And I'm not there to knock the products. I'm not there to knock his accomplishment. Are you kidding me? It's inspired me. Had he done it in Nikon, he'd be making $10 million a month because of the breadth of our product line that goes in that box that goes from Nikon to our people's homes every month. So.
That's a very accurate assessment. And
Absolutely.
I've done it time and time again with people with one product, one product line company, you know?
Yep.
Usually 10 times the income.
Yep. We have a gift here in the breadth of the product line in this stair-step breakaway comp plan that's truly designed to be a meritocracy. So, I'm not yet at the what, I'm at the how, although we're starting to look like we're looking at some details, OV and PGV and PV. But again, what are these numbers incenting in human behavior? What was the thought process behind this compensation plan? And the change that happened, which by the way, took, Jeff, how long was it? Over 5 years of work by outside consultants to come up with the change in the comp plan that got rolled out. It wasn't done lightly because it was impacting human behavior. And anytime you do that, and Karen's rolled out a number of them, you know, in different organizations, it takes a while to turn that ship, right? And get people to understand. I think this comp plan, I didn't really spend any time in the old one, so I didn't understand it. But I love this one because it incents people to continue to, at some level, help people. Help people. Got to help a lot more people at first, and then absolutely, you can, you know, Dennis says this, you can go fly fish 3 weeks at a time. Absolutely, he's earned it, right? And all the things that other people do that they earn. But it also incents us to continue to help people a little bit in order to continue to get paid fully. We're always going to get paid, but to get paid fully for the work we've done in the past. So the OV, to me, is all about leadership. Follow, lead, get out of the way is the thing that's settled for me as what is the path to leadership. The PGV is about connecting, right? Finding people that have problems, that have dreams, asking those questions that we've been talking about, finding what's the pain in their life or the pleasure in their life that they're seeking, and then we've only spoken in questions. Never speak a sentence to them. Connect them to somebody else who has solved that problem or created that dream in their own life or for somebody else, and let those people speak the sentences to them as well. Our job is just connectors. We've done it all our lives. You've had people come to you and say, I lost a job. What can I do? Well, these guys are hired, those guys are hired. Here's a resume coach. We just don't get paid a little bit of money every month for the rest of our life for what we naturally do. I need a new dentist. Oh, how about these guys? You get paid? No. Right? And consuming. Something we also naturally do as human beings. We consume. The Meekin Comp Plan is extremely simple. It says, if you want to make any amount of money per month that you deserve, that you believe you deserve, use $100, use 100 PV of the product a month, and 1 month, one time, use 500. Notice I'm talking about consumption, not selling. In my experience, 85% of people don't like to sell. And the moment this feels like selling to them, the moment we role model selling to them, 85% have said no before the conversation began as to whether they're going to do this. So I recommend going the other way. Talk to them about consumption. Show them the tax savings makes this consumption free, which is something we do right up front in the recruiting process and in the onboarding processes, at least in the United States, and it can vary by country. For most people, if they have any other form of income, this consumption is free, thanks to the U.S. Federal government's incentives for entrepreneurs. Okay, start with the end in mind. How many of you, let me back up. How many of you know the requirements for Royal Ambassador? Okay. Shar, go ahead.
Well, I don't think it's changed.
Okay.
I'm not 100% certain.
Go ahead.
Look at it. You have to do $1 million worth of volume. You've got to have 4 legs that it's coming from, and no one leg can be over. How much?
Go ahead. I've got the answer, but whatever you know is fine.
Okay, let's see. No one leg can be over, I think it's like 25% of the total.
Yes.
Is
Okay,
that
good.
right?
Good.
Am I close?
Very close. Very close. There's only 2 zeros missing from one of your numbers.
1 million. 2 zeros missing.
Oh,
Oh,
150,000.
300,000 from one leg?
Oh, hang on.
Okay.
So,
you finish.
no problem. Thank you. That was,
I mean-
we've been talking about Royal Diamond here. For some reason, when I went into the comp plan, when I started, I decided Royal Ambassador was where I was going for.
Good.
I guess just because it was the biggest thing in there, right? And I had a big vision. It served me really well because right now the comp plan is silver, gold, platinum, diamond, royal diamond, royal ambassador. There's a big left-hand turn. So if you don't start with the end in mind, if this is your end, and it doesn't have to be, going from royal diamond to royal ambassador becomes really hard because the path looks like this. But if you step way back and look at royal ambassador there and royal diamond here, it doesn't look like that much of a turn. But if you're at royal diamond and going, oh, there's royal ambassador, it's a problem.
100 million.
100 million. So I will come back to the requirements. This is the pay. It's $100 million in cumulative volume over 24 months, of which no more than 25 million can be in a leg. So you can have 4 perfectly balanced $25 million legs. I'd like to see you spin those plates. Right? Or you can have $10 million legs, or somewhere around 10 million. You can have 20, somewhere around $5 million plates, or legs, right? This is one of the things, for some reason, I never got caught up on the 6 legs or the 3 legs, because I knew that 3 was never going to be the Royal Ambassador, 6 was going to be really hard to get to Royal Ambassador. It was just an accident, really, that I focused on Royal Ambassador. So, Royal Ambassador, these are minimum numbers that I'm about to show you. I want to start more with the why, the income that funds the life that our heart desires. So $250,000 a month is your minimum, $3 million in annual